Hello everybody, how are you today, and can you hear me okay? Put my headset and my earbuds in. I could only hear out of one ear. I've been trying to go live here for a while. My technology is fighting against me, and then I turned the news on and saw what was going on in my country, and hey girl, hey boom, and yeah, we're still gonna swatch, you know, just let this be a lesson that no matter what's going on, you still gotta swatch. So I'm really committed because I know that everybody loves the snowflake effect. And I promised that I would swatch for the snowflake effect the next time I came on. So I'm planning to do that. But before I do that, why y'all like the snowflake effect so much? Like, what do you like that for so much? I don't get it. But everyone loves it. It's the favorite, hands down. My favorite is vivid chevrons. I don't know. I like those clean lines, but everybody loves snowflake. I think partly it's because snowflake sounds pretty. It sounds prettier. I've been trying to go live so long, my lip gloss already wore off. Put some more on. So I got this pink one in here. I don't really like this one that much. I like the darker ones better, so I gotta change that out so I have the right color in here for my videos. Okay, I wore this scarf to cover up the cleavage, so try and keep that out of the shot. Today I am wearing the Invisible People hat. I found some more stuff I had tucked away. I'm terrible about like switching from winter to summer, and then, you know, I used to do this with my kids. I would put their winter clothes away and then go to get them out, you know, whatever, and I would forget to get them out, and they would have outgrown everything. So I didn't even think I still had this hat. I didn't know I kept it. I thought I gave it away. I knew I kept this because I really liked this when I made it. But this is the Optimism scarf, and this is the Invisible People hat. And I did both of these as one skein projects for Furls for their Whims line of yarn. And if you don't know, it's spun the other way, and that gives you more stitch definition when you crochet. It really does make a difference. I thought it was kind of gimmicky at first, but when I worked with it, I really loved it. It's really lovely yarn to work with. And I have another. This is the Optimism. It's the same scarf, but it's based on the Metro North. So for this one, I did 2 skeins because I wanted it to be a little bit bigger, a lot bigger, twice as big. But when I did these pattern variations for them, it was for the one skein. What the heck did they call it? The pandemic promotion that they did, where it was like 1 skein of yarn and one hook for a discounted amount. So I had to go with just 1 skein, and I think I got a pretty neat, nice looking bandana scarf out of 1 skein. It has a cute little edge on it. So I hope you try it. Okay, let's dig in. Let's swatch for the snowflake effect. And today, I'm not going to let my hook fall out of my yarn. And if it does, I'm not going to look away from it, because you all saw me count that chain twice, and then it was wrong. So that's not happening today. Let's see. I got to swap cameras. Okay. Snowflake effect. I'm going to make my snowflake with some of the eco cotton that I have from Nurturing Fibers. These are some leftovers from the baby blanket, the 6-day baby blanket pattern that I made for them in gender neutral colors. We know all colors are gender neutral, but traditional, we went with a traditional boy blue and a traditional like springy girl, and then we did one with what is traditionally colors that are not, you know, a blend, so that it could, if you are more traditional in that thinking, it's gender neutral colors. That's what we called it. But this was 2 of them. I chose the colors myself, and they were a little wacky, like me. And this was 2 of them. This one is Sun-Kissed Coral, and this one is Sun Glow. And these are leftovers from the from my pattern kit. And we're going to do the snowflake effect today. So the swatch is the same. You just change colors on different. Quarantine, thank you. Quarantine. I don't know why I couldn't think of that name. So here is my snowflake swatch. The baby girl. The baby blanket patterns all have a different striping technique. So if you want a specific pattern for the snowflake effect, go to the baby girl pattern. Because what happens is the blanket ends on row 4. That's this one. Now with snowflake it works out okay if you changed after row 2 down here. So when you start dorking around with the pattern, you're going to end up with some things you have to kind of think about and plan ahead that are not going to work out the same. And with snowflake and half snowflake, your stripes are going to, you have to plan ahead for the first and last stripe, because they're going to be smaller. So you either have to not change after this first one and do this all in one color, and then repeat that up here so you have a wide stripe at the top and bottom, or you have to do what I did and remember to switch after row 2, and then at the end you'll have a small stripe again. I don't know why I went back and did it with red on this swatch, but you know, I think any of us would want it to match. I know I would want the top and the bottom to both be yellow. So you're going to have to plan out your stripes. Let's just say these are the only 3 colors, 4 color. You're using 4 colors: yellow, pink, red, green. So you have to plan how many stripes you have so that you end at the top on yellow. So don't just jump in and start, and then you get about to here and then you go, uh-oh, I'm gonna have what am I gonna do? The stripe isn't gonna be the same. So that's my advice. I'm not scolding, but when you start messing around, you have to think ahead. And this is something you have to think about. For the snowflake effect, you're gonna have a small stripe. You're gonna have 2 rows on the top and 2 rows on the bottom. You could plan that to match your edge, and then it would blend in with your edge, or you know, whatever. Okay, let's do this. So snowflake effect, it starts the same. I am not taking my eyes off of this until I know it's right. 37. It's 17 plus 3. So 17, 17, 3. 34 plus 3. So that's our swatch. You want to make sure you do 2 points, because if you don't, you'll be missing the DC3 together in the valley. That can be problematic. It's a common problem that people do that over 3 stitches instead of the way that we want you to do it. Okay, if you go back and watch one of my most popular videos, I say that the slip knot counts as 1, because that's what my mom told me, or my grandmother, I don't remember, but they were wrong. Hi Allison, hi Josephine, hey Shauna. Okay, so you start counting when you pull it through. I learned that after I made that video. 1. Oh my goodness. I'm using an F hook, by the way. 2, 3, it's a little sticky. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Okay. Now let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Okay. Starting in the second stitch from the hook, you single crochet across. Whoops. I go under the I work my single crochet chain under. Okay, I got that thing again. Okay. I go under one loop of my chain. You can go under 2 loops if you want to, or you can just go under the back. I go under this top one. That's just how I do it. I go under 1 and leave 2 below. You can go under 2 and leave 1 below. This hook is a little sticky. I feel like it needs I need lotion or something. My hands are very dry also. How is everyone? Tonight. We'll probably have a record number of people watching because it's the snowflake effect. Girl, you're working. You're always working. I think she has, you have so many jobs. It's like you're always at work. She's working hard. Aloha, Patricia. How are you? I told my my friend who was the director of the dance department when I was there. I mean, I guess he's really more of a mentor than a friend, but we became very close. I was his graduate assistant, and we became close when I was there working at the University of Hawaii, but he emailed me because I said, I'm thinking about moving back to Hawaii, and he was like, don't come back, there's no dance jobs here. I was like, there's no dance jobs anywhere. I might as well be where I want to be. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, and yes, you can do foundation single crochet. And if you choose to do foundation single crochet, you should start with 36 and not 37. One less. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Hallelujah. Thank you. I don't want to be making any more dumb mistakes on lives. That hurts my soul. It hurts me. Okay, here we go. Row 2, the devil. Whoop. Hi, Belinda. Hi, Glenda. Okay, so I chain 4 to turn. If your edges don't curl, you can chain 3 as written, and then we skip 3. Technically, we're really skipping 2, but it just became easier to say 3 to explain to people that you skip this one too. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to, I need to move this cursor out of my way. 3 double crochet in the next stitch. We're staying with the same color, right? But we're going to change after this row. So the snowflake effect is created when you change colors in between what we call in the group. We've made up all these, we have all these family words for different things about the 6-day kid blanket. We call row 2 and 3 the granny rows. Because it's kind of like a granny square. You're not doing the snowflake effect. Okay, good. I'm team vivid chevrons, team original. But it's, everyone always asks for the snowflake effect. What's the snow? I think because it sounds good. It is pretty. I'll say that. And then the other striping method that we see, which is very popular, is what we call the half snowflake. And I think that one came about because it's easier because you change colors with the pattern. If you, when you do the snowflake effect, it's kind of confusing because your color changes happen in the middle of a pattern repeat. Oh, I'm not saying what I'm doing. Oh, goodness. Should I go back? Skip 3. 3 double crochet. Skip 2. 3 double crochet. Skip 2, 3, 3, 3. Skip 2. Half snowflake is very popular. All those viral ones that you see are all half snowflake. So I'll do that one next. And I'll explain on that one how to make the top and bottom match, even though I know that some people like to just go ahead and end on row 7 with the half snowflake. But I'll show you what I do to make the top and bottom match. Yes, Lisbeth says she likes the snowflake and the confetti. So the confetti is a variation of the snowflake, actually. And what you do is I know, Erin, I know you're guilty and your blankets are gorgeous. The Australian confetti is a variation of the snowflake effect, where you add an additional granny row. Actually, you don't have to add it. There's 2 ways to do it, but I'll do that one. I'll do half snowflake next, and I'll do Aussie confetti after that. We'll have them all for the challenge, and I'll try and do them early so everybody can decide. And you can be swatching them too. Okay, so I'm up to the DC3 together. This is a common place where people get hung up because they want to do it like a decrease, but it is not a decrease. It's just in one stitch. It's a cluster. Okay, so then you count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. You skip 4 and you work into the 5th one. You don't work into the 4th one. You skip 4. So that's what happens when you end up with a bunch of extra stitches at the end of your row, or your chevrons going up. you're climbing up instead of climbing down, then that might be something that you did. Okay, DC3 together in the next stitch. Okay, skip 2, 3 DC in 1. Skip 2, 3, 3, 3. Okay, so the beginning of the row and the end of the row are different from in between the mountains. Oh my goodness, I'm having a hard time talking. Okay, I'll explain more when I lay it down. This is another way people get hung up, is they try and do 2, oops, I missed one, 2 sets of 3 double crochet in between the mountains when there's only 2 sets of 3 double crochet on the ends. Of the rows. I'm really concentrating. Skip 2, but I'm not explaining what I'm doing. Talking too much. I'm trying to keep my eyes on my work this time. How many have done the half snowflake or full snowflake on the star versions? A lot. A lot. Unfortunately, we didn't always have topics for the Facebook group on the posts. Oh, what am I doing? So, and not everybody adds their project to the finished projects album, and our whole finished projects album got destroyed a few months ago. So anything that's in the feed, we didn't have the topics that we could put on it, so that's just only been maybe like 6 or 8 months that we've had those. So it is hard to find exactly what you're looking for when you're looking in the group for a specific thing. Okay, so another thing that I do, and you don't have to do this unless your edges curl, is I do extended double crochet on the ends of my rows now. I just started doing that. And I'm going to leave that last part of the stitch undone because between rows 2 and 3, you change colors for the snowflake effect. That's how you do it. You go 1, 2, switch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then after 7, you skip 1 and it jumps to 2. So you go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, same color. And then you switch after 2. So it doesn't follow the sequence of the, that's why you couldn't, you can't find things. It's very hard to find things in the group. It's very hard to find exactly what you're looking for. But we try. We're trying. Where are my pretty little swan scissors? Oh, darn it. Here they are. Thought maybe the cats took it. Sometimes they take shiny things. Okay, and I'm gonna clip it. I'm gonna cut it, and then I'm gonna pull in the Sun-Kissed Coral. I love this shade. I love coral, and I love it. It was my favorite combination in the baby blanket was the Sun-Kissed Coral and the Adventurine, which was like a teal green. Oh, I love that. Okay, so we're gonna pull the yarn through the last 2 stitches, last 2 loops of that stitch, and then let me shorten it a little. It doesn't have to be that long. And then I take my 2 ends and I flip them up over my working yarn like that, hold them to the back, and then I start whatever the next row is. For me, the pattern says chain 3. I chain 4 because of my tight edge tension, and then these are kind of locked in place. They're not going to go anywhere. You don't have to tie a knot. No reason to tie knots. Okay, so you skip this space, and now you're going to work 3 double crochet into this space. Whoops. Three in the next space. These two colors are really exciting next to each other. And then 3, 3, 3 in the space at the top of the mountain, the 3 chain space. Okay, going down the mountain, we have 1 set of 3 double crochet in the next space. You just finished 2 and have 1 more to go. Is it raining? Oh, do you hear that? No, my son's taking a shower. I just came up and got in the shower. I thought the cat was in here too, but I guess he's not. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. You have 2 clusters going down the mountain, but you only have going to the edge, but you only have 1 in between. 2 and 1, and then you have these. I didn't think you could hear that. I have my, let me see what my headset is set on. Yeah, I'm set on noise cancellation too. Isn't that weird? Okay, so DC 3 together in the next 2 spaces. I'm sorry, not the next 2. You skip this middle one. Okay, and stop worrying about this gap right here. Stop worrying about that. They all have that. It's meant to be there. Yeah, they look really cool next to each other, don't they? All right, 3 double crochet in the next space. Three, 3, 3 in the top of the mountain. I was working on a commission and they didn't want a 6-day kid blanket. Darn it. Hi, Valerie. Yeah, I'm broadcasting onto YouTube right now, so it'll stay on my YouTube channel. That's probably the easiest place to find it. And then I have to do things in chunks. Like, I don't get around to everything all at once, but eventually I'll put it on the website on the relevant page, so it'll be much easier to find. But yeah, the easiest way to find things is probably to go to my YouTube, because when I go live in the group and stuff, the videos end up just the groups are not easy to organize content. And then I always work from the back to the front at the end of the row. And then I do an extended double crochet that is not written in the pattern. Next time I update, I'll put it in, but I do that because my edges curl. So I do that to alleviate curling. I chain 4 at the beginning when it says to chain 3, and I do an extended double crochet. You're so welcome. Okay, lay it down and admire it, especially after row 2 and row 3, and make sure that, you know, just check it over and shape it up a little bit. All right. I'm chaining 1 and turning, or turning and chaining, it does not matter. Single crochet into the very first stitch, and then you skip 1 and you single crochet. I don't count, I think it's 8 of them. And then 3 single crochet into the space. And then I think Katie said yesterday 14 single crochet, but I don't count. You just go all the way down and back up until you get to the chain 3 space and put 3 in the space. If I sit here and count, I'm not going to be able to watch my show. This is your favorite row, the single crochet row. I think it's very satisfying to have the single crochet rows there to like square everything off. Of course, the whole point of the snowflake effect is not to have those straight lines, but to have the 2 granny rows kind of going into each other, like, you know, like that. And that's what creates the more textured look. You know, for a long time, I didn't know that people were making my blanket. And I would get the occasional emails from time to time, and people would say, like, this isn't the right blanket. This isn't the right pattern. It doesn't look the same. And I didn't know that people were out there doing the snowflake effect, or I don't even know who came up with it. But I would get these emails and I would be like, what are they talking about? It's the wrong pattern. I don't understand. Okay, and then I always work from back to front, and I work into the chain on this row because I worked into the chain into the stitches going across this row. On the row 2, we work into the spaces, so that's why I work into the space at the end of row 2 and not into the chain. Oops. So cute, these colors together. Oh my goodness. Okay, and now let's see, what row is this? Row 5. Double crochet row. So you skip 2 and then 8 double crochet. On the double crochet rows, you skip 2 at the beginning of the row. Double 2. On the single crochet, you have a stitch and then a skip 1. And on the granny rows, the 3 granny stitch cluster rows, you skip 3. So that's a little something to help you memorize the pattern, because those are the hard parts to memorize. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you should land right in the center single crochet of the 3. And if you do that, you know, you're on track, you're good. And now it's 7. Well, I cheat here. I don't count these double crochet. I noticed on the star blankets that my last double crochet ends here. It's always centered. So it looks like it's right directly over. Let me turn it like this. Your last double crochet coming down the mountain will be centered between the last second and third stitch of your grouping, 3 rows down, 2 rows down. I cannot talk today. So I don't even count. Let's see if I'm right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of course, if you're going to be like me and not count, then you do run the risk of making a mistake and not noticing it. I've done that many times, even on camera, on lives. Okay, then you skip 2 and then 7 going up. Three double crochet in the center stitch, the top of the mountain. And then 8 going down. So the sides of your blanket are different than the beginning and end of the row are different than the between the mountains. And between the mountains is what you repeat when you are making something wider than a swatch. And you know, your swatches can be made into scarves and pocket shawls. Glynis's pocket shawl, when she was working on that, she said, "This will encourage everybody to swatch." But you can turn your swatch into a pocket shawl. 8. And then you skip. Put your double crochet in the last stitch of the row. My gosh. Okay. Let's admire it. That's row 5. It's starting to come together. See how the double crochet rows kind of spread out a little bit. That's why the blanket ends on row 4. Okay? Because the granny rows, the decreases kind of bring it back in together. And we have another double crochet row. It's the same. Did I do 4? I'm using count. It's the same as row 5 and row 6 are the same. The only difference between 6 and 5 is that on 6 you're working into double crochet, and on 5 you're working into single crochet. That's all. Okay, and then 3 double crochet in the center double crochet. I'm doing this one for one of my other commissions. You're doing snowflake? Shauna says every time she doesn't count, she makes a mistake. And then her little girl asked her if she can only count to 3, 7, and 14. You're like a dance teacher that can only count to 8, right? Okay, skip to seven double crochet and in the valley on each side, going down up and down from the valley, and there's 8 on the ends, 3 in the center of each peak. Five, six, seven, one more. 8. And then I work the last one. And back to front. I'm working into the chain because I worked into tops of stitches in this row. So I'm not going to work into the space on this row. I'm going to work into the turning chain. I know a lot of people work into the space, and then I do an extended double crochet on the end of mine to alleviate curling. You can see it's not curling at all, but try it the way it's written first, because a lot of people have no problems at all with their tension on the ends doing it as written. Okay, row 7, another single crochet row. This time all you have to remember to do is skip 1 after the first stitch and before the last stitch, and the rest of the way across you can just fly. Sit there and watch Outlander. I won't start singing the song even though it popped into my head. That's one of those shows. It's like it's like the Harry Potter books. Like after I would read one of the Harry Potter books when they were new and they just came out, you know, and we would go get the book at midnight and then tear through it. My kid and I would do that, and he would always read it way faster than I could. But whenever I finished one of the books, I'd be like walking around for the next couple days, like wondering what Harry, Ron, and Hermione were up to, or like right then, like as if they were people in my real life. And I was home from Hogwarts for the summer. I feel that way about the Outlander characters too from TV. Like I wonder what they're up to. Are they okay? Okay, and last single crochet. I didn't watch it for a long time either. Yeah, see how my swatch goes like that? And maybe some people who end on row 7, theirs doesn't flare out as much as mine does. Is there a reason why you chain 3 between your set of 3 double crochet? Can you chain 2 and it still look nice? I would try it on your swatch, but I think that you're not going to have as pointy of a mountain if you do that. Because this is where the pattern increases and decreases. Is here and here. You have a big decrease here and a big one here, right in here. But you can try it. People have done all kinds of things, variations and things. So the best thing to do is try it. Okay, so this is row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now this is where, this is where Snowflake Effect is confusing. This is the end of the repeat. We're going to start repeating again from row 2, but we're not going to change colors until row 3. So your pattern repeats don't match your stripe repeats. That makes sense. All right, so row 2. I chain 4 to turn, skip 3, 3 double crochet in the same stitch, skip 2, 3 double crochet. Woo, getting warm. I gotta open that door again. Skip 2. Of course, I'm all layered up in compression garments and they get hot. Chain 3, 3 double crochet, 3, 3, 3 in the top of the mountain. Of course, I'm also wearing a hat and a scarf that I don't really need indoors, but I like the Invisible People hat. I think it looks punky. I feel like a punk wearing it. Skip 2. It has a slouchy look, but it's not like a big old gigantic hat. It just has shaping in the back to make it slouchy. This is one skein. And I just gave it some ruching in the back to give it this shape. Okay, skip 2, DC 3 together in one stitch, and then skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, DC 3 together. We're not going to worry about that hole right there. It's totally fine. Skip 2, 3 double crochet, skip 2, 3, 3, 3 in the top, skip 2, 3 double crochet in the next stitch, skip 2, 3 double crochet in the next stitch, and then double crochet. For me, I do extended double crochet in the last last stitch of the row, last single crochet of the row. Okay, that's row 2. See how it's straight now and it was flared before? This pulls it in. Okay, so between row 2 and 3 you change colors. And even that sometimes is hard for people to understand. What do you mean I change between 2 and 3? And it's because the repeat of the stitch repeat, pattern repeat doesn't match the color, the stripes. Yeah, so it's confusing until you get it, until you understand it. Then it's like, oh, it's obvious, but yeah, it can be hard to explain it a little bit. It's not intuitive. Okay, so I'm changing colors. I finished row 2 and I'm going to row 3, and so I'm changing colors. I'm just going back to the same color I had before, and then I flip my tails up over the working yarn and I start my chain, 2, 3, 4, and it locks it in. Those guys aren't going anywhere. I do not like to tie knots. That's for an emergency. It's just for an emergency. It's not something I do on a regular basis. Okay. I avoid it at all costs. All right, 3 double crochet. This is row 3. 3 double crochet in the next 2 spaces. Trying to go faster. Coming up on an hour here. 3, 3, 3 in the top. Three double crochet in 1 space going down. Thank you, Katie. I know, I like these colors are unexpected. Okay. Okay, and now it's DC3 together in this one and then this one. Three double crochet. Three through 3 up top. Three double crochet in each of the next 2 spaces. How many people are starting new blankets for the challenge? And who's going to be working on existing blankets? I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be working existing blankets because I have 2. I have one from each of the last 2 challenges still incomplete. Okay, I'm working into the space here because I worked into spaces on this row. I'm doing extended double crochet because I need a little extra on my edges. Okay, and that's your row 2. See how that just makes the granny stitches pop out, and it gives you like this snowflake looking stripe with color on the edges. So if I were doing, and I'll do a confetti version, but if I were doing confetti, I would do another row of grannies in this color and then switch back to the yellow. But most people do confetti with more than one color, so it doesn't, yeah. It's like this would be the next color stripe. So you would go along in the same color and then next, previous, and then the new color. New, old, new, like that. That's confetti. It's a variation of the snowflake effect. Okay, let me do my last row. Single crochet, skip one. Whee! And fly across the row. And watch your show. Start a new. Still do, babe. You're gonna start new. Oh, nice. Now I'll show you an alternate way to do this, to do the valley on row 4. Instead of working into the space, you can work between the stitches 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think I might have made an extra one somewhere. Nope, I'm good. 3 in the chain space. And then you single crochet till you have 2 stitches left, and then you skip 1. I believe it's 8 single crochet going down the side. Yep. Okay, snowflake swatch. Always complete your swatch to row 4. Oh, but I didn't say this. After row 7, you should weigh it. If you are, if you're trying to guesstimate yardage from weight, you can also check one of my other patterns for yardage and find something comparable. Baby blanket patterns are in DK weight. Betty's Lazy Mixers in a worsted weight. And yeah, I think I have some. Do I have anything bulky published? I don't think so. Snowflake effect. Let me trim it. See how if you had a million stripes in between, you would still have these little short rows on the top and bottom of your blanket. So short stripes rather. So make sure you plan for that. This is the 6-day baby blanket. This one is, this is the Nurturing Fibers Eco Cotton. And this one is the bamboo, the cotton bamboo. And it has a little sheer shine to it. There's kits on the Good Loops website. There's kits for all 3 of those patterns. The baby blanket, 6-day baby blanket. Oh yes, the tea cakes. The Valerie, I did purchase some of the new Karen. I think they're called Lovely Layers or Luscious Layers or something like that. They're very similar to the tea cakes. The colors are a little bit different, but they're extremely similar. You could definitely do that every time. Swap cameras. You could definitely use those new Karen. I think they're called Lovely Layers. Same yardage, I believe. Some of the colors are different. I've used it. I used it for scarves, and it's nice. Came out really nice. Very similar. not the same colors though. They have a vanilla bean. Remember how vanilla bean is my favorite, and the colors are not, there's no pink in it, or not as much pink, but they're a little bit different, but they're nice. They're very nice. All right, friends, back to reality. I don't want to go. I don't want to log off and log back into reality, but I guess we all have to sooner or later. So thank you so much for being with me. I hope that you find this snowflake effect tutorial really helpful, and don't forget to hit subscribe and your notifications for wherever it is you're watching me. Bye now.